Hello, everybody. This is your local 557 updates. We know that there are a lot of information and details that are flowing through, so we wanted to bring this version to just help with clarification on a lot of important topics. So, here are a couple of things that have been either common questions that we want to make sure that we're addressing for all of our members. I'm going to be talking about response timelines, daily recap, immediate updates, the differences between strike pay and top up pay, dependents, making up shift hours, effective strike presence, and strike breaking. So I'm just going to go ahead since we have a lot to cover today. So, first off, I'm going to talk about the response timelines. I want to just thank everybody for emailing GBC local 557 at outlook.com. It's been really great to hear from our members every single day. Just as a friendly reminder that email response times can vary up to 2 business days. This is mainly because majority of us in the executive are active on the picket line. And so if we are on the picket line between 7 a.m. to 4 p.m., it's really difficult for us to be behind the emails, but we are definitely doing our best. Also, an important clarity is that inquiries can't be answered during evenings and weekends. We are really, really stretched and we need our time to also rest. And so just know that so that you're not just, anxiously waiting on us. We will do our best to answer as quickly as we can. So, the next topic I want to talk about is our daily recap. Again, we know there's a lot of information flowing, and we just want to make sure that everybody is informed, kept in the loop. And so, we have agreed as an executive to release a daily recap every single evening so that throughout the day we are hearing from our president, from our VPs, from picket captains, from members of just really commonly asked questions or issues or troubleshooting tips that we finally received from OPSU. So it's so important that you save the live information hub link. This is what we've been using to provide the most live, recent updates that would be super relevant to all of our members. But regarding immediate updates like today's thunder warnings, what will happen is 30 minutes prior to shifts, we will make an update on the live information hub to review safety protocols like for today's weather, or if there's a change of plans with campuses or something like that. If it needs to grab immediate attention of our members, this is the heads up that immediate updates will be funneled through the live info hub link. That is usually at the bottom of each of our signatures. All of the email communications that's been sent out, that live link should be available there. So next, I want to just clarify about the OPSU strike pay and the local 557 top up. So a really important clarification here is that us at the local 557 team, we actually don't have access to the OPSU portal. So what that means is that if you've already submitted your personal email address, your billing address, we don't have access to that information, which is why many of the asks are duplicated. We ask over and over again, but ultimately we want to make sure that your pay comes directly to you. So this is why it's so important that you are updating both the OPSU portal and ensuring that when Local 557 is asking for information, you just provide it to us as fast as you can. So regarding with OPSU strike pay, if there are any issues here at all, whether it is missing hours, incorrect issued pay, anything like that, please email us at gbclocal557 at outlook.com. A couple of us have actually been granted authority to adjust hours that may have been miscalculated, or if there were issues with the clock in, clock out situations, and then the discrepancies will be reflected in the next pay period. So that's a really important point to note. And then for the local 557 top up, if there's any issues here, please email our amazing treasurer, Carter. His email address is opsu557treasurer@gmail.com. So issues here is if you didn't receive it, if somehow I'm not really sure how this would happen, but if an incorrect amount was issued. But again, anything to do with top up from the local 557 strike funds would go directly to Carter. So we've been getting a lot of questions regarding pay for dependents. So the main issue we've been seeing is if you've been missing a payment for your one or more than one dependents that you have identified through the OPSU portal, therefore resulting in an incorrect amount being issued. So we finally received some really clear instructions from the OPSU team, again, because dependent pay is issued by OPSU. So this is why the local 557 is not able to resolve that issue for you. But the first step you want to do is to send an email to strikeforms@opsu.org so that they can retroactively add dependent pay to the next strike pay. And please make sure, as you can imagine, they are also getting a plethora of emails. So to not delay your payment or to create more of an email chain, in that same email, you want to provide your union membership number and all the relevant information regarding your dependent when submitting your request. They've been doing a really excellent job of pretty much responding within 24 hours. That's what I've seen so far. So again, any issues regarding dependent pay, please email OPSU directly at strikeforms@opsu.org. So next we want to just address making up strike hours. So we've been definitely figuring out what is OPSU's protocols when it comes to this. So it's really important to remember that each member is responsible for 20 hours a week. That is how the $450 of strike pay is earned. And so the pay periods that we've been clarified with is from Thursday to Wednesday of each week. So therefore, any hours that you are making up, this could be because you're not feeling well, you have a medical appointment, any reason that you are not able to make a strike shift or you need to leave early. The really important detail here is that you have to make up those hours within the same pay period. And these are the rules that have been set by OPSU. So really want to bring up that clarification. So next, we just wanted to talk about effective strike presence. First off, I just want to thank every single one of you for just showing up so strongly. I know it's not easy striking. This is actually personally my first strike, but together we are truly fighting for what we deserve. However, there have been a couple of observations that have come to the surface, and now we have to raise it to keep all of us accountable, because it's not fair for some to be really engaged, really giving a lot of their energy and participations while others are maybe not pulling up their weight as much as the others. So first thing is arriving to scheduled shifts late. Of course, commuting and any other reasons that may cause you to be late, that is completely okay. But you just want to make sure that you are fulfilling your 4 hours and to really try to not make a habit of this, because this really causes additional stress onto our picket captains that need to check you in. And they just want to make sure that our lines and our number of members that are on campus are as full as they can be. Another really big observation we've been hearing is leaving early. So we've been noticing members that are, checking in and they be maybe trying to leave a bit early, or they are not actively fulfilling their 4 hours per shift. So it's really important here to know that picket captains have now been reinforced and been told that they have the authority to, end breaks if we see members that are kind of lounging and again not really keeping up with the totality of efforts that we're trying to do together as a team, or unfortunately strike pay will be impacted. Picket captains do have that ability to do so, so we just don't want to be put in that position. So please, everybody, absolutely take breaks, but breaks are 15 minutes long, no longer. Either keep walking or engage. If you need accommodations, let us know, but let's really make this time together as effective as possible. Because another observation we are seeing is that members are just kind of sitting to the side, and they're catching up with others, which is really wonderful. But the purpose of the strike is not just to catch up with colleagues. So things like the King's Lounge at St. James or the Green Parquet at Casa Loma, know that there have been observations that have come to our attention, and just know that we are going to be monitoring those even stronger now. So please, let's just again make this as effective as possible together. Another topic that's been unfortunately coming up for us is strike breaking. And so I want to take a quick moment here of what exactly is that. Another term that's commonly known is scabbing. So what strike breaking really is strike breaking means doing work that undermines our strike. This is really important because Article 30 of OPSEU's constitution actually outlines what kind of activities are considered strike breaking. This could include crossing the picket line to perform regular duties. This also includes logging in remotely to work systems. So this is into your emails, this is into Teams, this is your VPNs. This also includes answering work calls or text messages, and yes, even emails during the strike period. This also includes volunteering to do work for the employer that replaces striking workers, and taking on temporary or contract work to cover struck jobs. It could also include assisting or training replacement workers. It can also consist of doing tasks that help the employer keep operations running during the strike. We need to remember that the sole purpose of the strike is to show the importance of our presence, of our role, and the needed work that we do to keep the college running. And by removing us, by all of us being on the picket line, we are trying to show the disturbance, in a way, the chaos when we are not there. That is the pure purpose of why we are doing this. And so, some of the consequences that Article 30 states for members who engage in strike breaking may include financial penalties. You are going to be suspended of membership rights and actually being removed from the union offices. And we would hope that we wouldn't be brought to this point, but that would mean then you would be disconnected from OPSEU, and potentially from Local 557. So if you needed the support, we would not be able to aid you. But I think what is most important is, well, why does this all matter? And the reality is, striking is only effective when we act together. So even the smallest of actions like logging in from home, it's undermining our collective strength and the reasons why we are all sacrificing to be on the picket lines. So know that Article 30 exists to protect our solidarity and ensure fairness for everyone who stands on the line. And so that is the key updates that we have for today. We really hope that this audio version of updates is a little bit easier to understand all of the information again that's been flowing through. Thank you again so much. Everybody, please be safe. And again, just thank you for all of your dedication and your resilience. And I know that together we are going to be sending a powerful message for what we deserve. Talk to everybody soon.